What is going on, Chelsea fans? Thank you for heading over to our YouTube channel. Hey, this is a clip from the entire match review podcast we did. It's only a segment. The full pod is like an hour long, so it doesn't make sense to be on YouTube, but it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts, link in the description. But if you want to know what we talk about in the entire podcast, we talk about the match review, the stats, the lineups, the goals. We talk about the new signings, the German duo, Havertz and Werner, and how they did. We talked about Reece and that rocket of a goal he had and just his overall performance. And then we kind of talked about a work in progress, who we think or what parts of the team need to be improved upon yet. And then we all picked an unsung hero. So it is a blast. It was a ton of fun, great energy. Go check it out. Again, link in the description, but we hope you enjoy this clip. Until next time, Chelsea fans, you know what to do. Keep the blue flag flying high. Reece, as he is affectionately known around these parts, but in the first half is all about Tariq Lamptey, the right back who departed Chelsea. He was having himself a day, as the kids say. But as our friend Yannick pointed out on Twitter, Reece James clearly saw the tweets at halftime. Must have been on the phone real quick, checking a little update. And he had his Michael, that's when it became personal, Jordan moment. And he absolutely lit the field on fire. Nick, we're talking about how his not great 1v1 defending, just started bodying people up in the second half. Started getting aggressive, just crossed it every single time he got it. And then obviously the cherry on top was the rocket goal, which, I mean, it was an absolute rocket. The net genuinely struggled to contain it. Matt Ryan, goalkeeper, small guy, not a big guy out there, didn't even stand a chance. And it's Matt with one T, so, whatever that means about him, you can kind of make your own opinions. Anyways, thoughts? Reece struggled a little bit the first half, bit of redemption the second half. We saw mixed performances from him in the post-restart as well.
I'll let Dan take the positives. I will go on the negatives. And I'll start off by saying I had a nice little back and forth with our friend Ollie Glanville on Twitter today. Because I think there are times where Reece spatially doesn't know where he is on the field or knows where his help is on the field. And so there were a couple of times he just got smoked in 1v1s against far lesser players than I think who he is. Now it's to say this, he's still a young guy. There's plenty of promise within him. This is not a negative review of Reece James. I just think he has struggled in 1v1 situations. And since bodying up Zaha at Palace last year, there have been times where you're like, man, is this even the same guy defending-wise? Because I think he's so talented in attack that it maybe gets away from him a little bit. But, yeah, I think he, for the first 53 minutes, did not have a good game. He was on my watch list, him and Kai Havertz down that right side. And I think he struggled, and then, like you said, Brandon certainly got it back in the second half and redeemed himself with a goal and an assist, and helped my fantasy team. So I very much appreciated that.
Look, Dan tee up the stats: 1 goal, 1 assist, 4 out of 4 aerial duels, 3 interceptions, 2 block shots, 2 clearances, 2 tackles, 2 key passes. Statistically, pretty good day for the guy. Got man of the match as well, I believe. So.
And the set piece thing, by the way, the aerial duels thing is key. That's something I didn't mention for the first half that he was very good at, was on set pieces, because Dan also mentioned via Twitter, one of the things you don't want to have to type is Brighton set piece or Brighton corner
kick. So. Yeah.
Look, I think Reece balled out, and I get all of the negatives and the elements of his game that he'll continue to need to improve at. Like, that is absolutely his one-on-one defending, his recovery, because there are plenty of times that he gets shredded maybe and then has to really kind of get up to full speed to kind of capitalize or kind of, lock down whomever he was defending. But I think a couple things changed in that second half. One was the removal of Ruben Loftus-Cheek off the pitch and kind of the implementation of Ross Barkley. I think that made things better for a lot of players. Reece benefited from that. Kai benefited from that. But his his value will continue to be his interchange with whomever he's working with on the right. And there were a couple times when N'Golo was over there and they were kind of interchanging back and forth, or Kai and him were interchanging, or near the end of the game when Azpilicueta came on and actually we pushed Reece up into like a defensive mid and they were interchanging on the right. There was some really, really promising football there where he was just crossing that ball in and he was begging. He was begging an attacker from Chelsea to go in there and just blow on it. Like
the near post.
Oh my gosh. He's got so much skill in his bank. Like he is going to be cashing checks off of his talent for years at this level. I just think it is something where it is just about getting acclimatized, and I think a couple of the defensive things are workable, they are coachable, they are things that can be molded and improved on. I think what he did from just an impact standpoint in the second half, like knowing to go up and claim that ball, knowing that he could press on the right a little bit more, and the game shifted more to take advantage of his skill set. When we were sitting back, actually, and he was trying to work the ball upward, I think, Brandon, that's where he was getting caught out a little bit. The moment we actually started moving the ball forward more effectively, that's when he really got a chance to shine again.
Look, Reece, he's young, right? Is he still a teenager? Is he 20 yet? I mean, the fact is, he went from a championship loan at Wigan to the first team, essentially. It's a big jump, He's gotten to learn under Azpilicueta, who's still captain, who's still around, just had a knock. And getting to see him kind of the space to develop and grow, kind of to Van's point, I don't know if he knows what all of his weapons and assets are. He's still learning. He was playing a little CDM today at some point. I saw him all the way over on the left side. Maybe that's positional naivety. Maybe he's just getting settled in. Maybe he's been given the freedom. Maybe it's some stupid Berhalter tactic where like we have inside cutting outside backs or some bullshit.
How dare you?
Yeah,
How dare
Lampard.
You,
yeah, I'm sure Lampard's really studying Berhalter film this offseason.
Learning from the best.
Gosh, but
here's
he's
the one
been
thing.
there.
Here's the one thing, though. No, go ahead.
No, it's fine. You clearly have something.
Dan, you're
to
jumping
say.
all over him today. Come on.
I am jumping because I think the other thing that just has to be spoken about is the fact that
His
Tarek
frosted
Lamptey
tips. I know.
Frosted tips, baby, they're back.
No.
In sync style. Let's go. We're all doing it.
Lamptey and Reece James can both be phenomenal right backs. Like that is absolutely the reality of the situation. And the whole narrative of did we let Lamptey get away for the first 45 minutes was infuriating. I think Lamptey had a very good game. He was most likely Brighton's best player on the pitch. I also don't think he had a perfect game either. Even though, again, when you're going up against Alonso, who is not a speed left back in any capacity, and you're shredding him, just remember, let's grade that on the appropriate curve, as it were. And then also, you think about that left-hand side, whether it's Ruben or even Mason or Jorginho, there was no help for Alonso. They were kind of they would come in way after the fact when Lamptey was already heading into the box or to the byline to try to cross it in to help out. So, I don't know. I think both were likely to be overhyped on conversation today. I think both of them were men of the match for their respective teams, but both of them still have growing to do, and both of them can be great. That is totally allowed.
I have a solution, proposed solution, because I'm all about solutions, not problems. All right. The solution is you buy back Lamptey and you put Reece at CDM, and then you just solve two problems right there. Bam, 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 bam. There it is. I know. Football genius.
It's still a plus for the academy. I think I forgot who was talking about it, but Chelsea Academy, I wouldn't say graduates, but who were raised and developed in the academy are all over the Premier League. Don't forget Southampton. Oriol Romeu and Ryan Bertrand are still there, kicking the shit out of people a little bit in Southampton.
8 years later, man. I mean,
yep, he was there in 2012, right in Munich, exactly. So